Hello and welcome to Sports Nerds Episode 4. Max Andrews here with my good friends Philip and Mike. We're just going to lay some sports down on you. I hope you guys enjoy. Obviously, right now, the biggest thing going on is the Cricket World Cup being held in Australia. But India just got upset in Australia. It's craziness. It's absolute madness going on.
That's why you're the nerd and we're the sports
Yeah,
guys.
no, actually, obviously, March Madness is going down right now.
That's unforgivable, man.
That's true. It was good. It was good. But hopefully everyone's bracket is as messed up as mine. I'm currently doing the worst in the little Sports Nerds bracket tournament we got going on. We're angling for the number one pick in our Sports Nerds Fantasy Football League, which will get started, when football season begins in earnest. But yeah, back to March Madness. I'm doing terrible. My bracket is pretty much messed up, almost beyond repair. I've still got 3 teams in the Final Four, but it's not looking good. I got 18 X's right now. I had Ohio State going to the Final Four because they're super sweet, so I don't see how they lost. I was really shocked when they did lose. It was kind of heartbreaking.
This guy. I'm the one decked out in Noah's shoe gear, and at least I knew that they were not going in.
Hey man, blind faith is a powerful thing.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
I do every night. I cry myself to sleep.
It's kind of funny though. There are actually still 2 people in the entire world that still have perfect brackets, and that is Brian Williams and Bill O'Reilly.
Oh man!
And they've managed to be at every single game too. So,
yeah. Brian Williams actually scored the game-winning shot in every single game.
Yes, and Bill O'Reilly was there. So
and Bill O'Reilly was there talking about it.
But yeah, so let's get started with with our original brackets and kind of who we had, and then we'll go after that, and then we'll kind of do a Sweet 16 kind of type of bracket. So Phil, who'd you have in your bracket? Who's your Final Four? And do you have any dark horses, any underdogs you had going far?
So my Final Four was Virginia, Duke, Arizona, and Kentucky. So yeah, I guess I had too much high hopes with Virginia the year they had. I actually thought they would actually do something rather than pull what usually is a Villanova, which is going out in one of the first. I guess technically it's the 3rd or 4th round now.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate how they always try to correct people with that shit. Like, it's still the first round's the first round. Screw those first 4 games, man.
The play-in games, yeah.
Yeah, the play-in games, yeah. But, sorry.
So let's see. I guess the dark horse that I had going far got eliminated with SMU, the 6th seed. I actually thought they would actually win their game, then beat Iowa State, and then actually just eventually succumb to Gonzaga just because Gonzaga probably has more talent overall. Yeah, because overall I didn't really see any surprising teams. I mean, actually, what's funny is looking back now at my Sweet 16, it was chalk. It was 1 through 4 in Midwest, East, and West. It was the South that I had some difference, which is SMU versus Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why my bracket is okay, minus the Virginia. Because, yeah, really where I called upsets really was I had Louisville going all the way to the Elite 8. I had them beating Villanova. I still think they're going to beat NC State. But and then Oklahoma, Virginia is where I was still on board, so I just didn't see Michigan State happening. But other than that, I mean, that was probably it. I mean, it really wasn't that exciting. I mean, as I was going through this, I mean, I eventually picked my champion, which was Kentucky, which is going to be most of the nation. No surprise there.
Yeah.
But against Duke, that was my championship game with Kentucky winning 72-68. We'll see if that happens.
I guess we gotta pick some people.
Yeah, you didn't pick a score?
No, I mean, well, it hasn't happened yet. It's not like I'm in trouble. I'm picking a score right now.
All right, you pick a score. I'll talk about my bracket. Yeah. So since we didn't have any money or anything like that, or involved, I didn't really think too much into it. Usually, my philosophy has always been if I think way too much into it, I end up just screwing it big time. But regardless, I screwed it big time. You can basically just write the words "fucked" really big all over this right here. So my Final Four was I got Notre Dame coming out of the Midwest. I got Wisconsin coming out of the West. I got Villanova coming out of the East, and I had Gonzaga coming out of the South. Well, Midwest, I had how did I get Notre Dame? Well, basically, I picked Maryland to upset Kentucky in the Sweet 16.
Big Ten.
Yeah,
Big
it was
Ten.
Big Ten. I mean, Maryland's got that one good guy. I forget his name. He's going to go pro. And I figured, Kentucky, they've been on such a long win streak, and everyone's talking about them, and Calipari this, Calipari that, and I figured,
Ripe for upset.
they were right. Yeah, they were right for the picking, in my opinion. You had there was a porn star. I think it was Lisa Ann. Lisa Ann said she wanted to have a threesome with the Harrison twins. So it's like I'm thinking, okay, these guys are just right for the picking. So I'm gonna take Big Ten. Get Maryland. No, Maryland didn't even make it there. They ran into the buzzsaw that is West Virginia. And so, but I'm still alive in that region, though. I needed Notre Dame to pull through for me here. But Wisconsin, I got Wisconsin winning it, the whole thing, because I figured, they'd whip Notre Dame in the Final Four there. Big Ten pride, baby. And then Villanova, big disappointment. I mean, I did not see NC State coming out doing what they did. And I was actually working that night, so I was like trying to watch TV and then like concentrate on work at the same time, and it was just killing me. I was just like, you got to be shitting me that Villanova just crapped the bed, and it was really disappointing. My big dark horse, besides the Maryland upset over Kentucky, was Providence. I had Providence going to the Elite Eight.
Go Flyers.
Shut up. I heard Clark Kellogg on a local radio station a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Oh, do you got anybody that you could see that could go far?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I kind of like Providence," so I immediately picked Providence. But then I remember that one of Clark Kellogg's kids actually played for Providence, so I was like, "Oh, well, maybe that's why he picked fucking Providence." So
you don't ever count out the Flyers.
Yeah, and I think the two big upsets that nobody picked ever was the Iowa State getting beat by UAB, and then you had Georgia State beating Baylor, which was hilarious to see Georgia State win with the coach falling off the chair and stuff like that. But yeah, so I have Wisconsin beating Villanova in the finals, 72-65. So I'm still hanging in there, but I'm hanging on. I'm living on a prayer here.
That makes me feel good though, because your bracket is going to be fucked.
And it's going to be so fucked after this.
I'm still in it. We're going to go off original brackets. We're going to make new predictions now, but original brackets count, and he is so fucked.
Done.
But yeah, for my Final Four, I had Kentucky coming out of the Midwest, Ohio State coming out of the West. Out of the East, I had, love, okay? Out of the East, I got Michigan State, and then, what's the other one? South, I got Duke. So I'm not looking terrible, but I do also have 18 X's. But as soon as Kentucky makes it to the finals, his bracket is completely screwed. So that makes you feel good. Yeah, I had Baylor going to the Sweet 16. Yeah, Baylor, man. What happened? And then I had the Texas game was being played. I remember I went to we didn't have the show last week, obviously. We apologize about that. But I was over at my friend's house. I was filling out my bracket because I like to procrastinate till the very last minute. And the Texas game was going on. And so he has the game blasting, and I'm like, dude, you got to turn that down. I can't be influenced, So I'm like, so before anything goes on, I was like, all right, I picked Texas. I'm writing it down right now. I picked Texas to win, and then I'm gonna say 4 minutes later they lose. So that was good.
Bootler.
But yeah, no, I'm not looking too terrible. I got Ohio State's the only team I had in the Final Four that didn't make it, or that's out right now. So yeah, it's not. I'm not Mike. Is basically.
You could say as bad as I am, or as bad as you are, or as bad as Phil's bracket is, but no one is worse than the Big 12. I mean, I think the Big 12. I think they all lost, right?
I think they all lost in the first week.
Well,
right?
actually, no. Oklahoma's still in it.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, Oklahoma in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, but it's like everyone's talking so much about the Big 12. It's it's either UCLA on the West Coast, or it's just pick your poison of the East Coast teams, or Carolina or Kentucky, and then are usually the dominant powers. But this year I was talking about Big 12 teams, Baylor, Iowa State, and then they just boom, dunzo.
Yeah, I had Iowa State going pretty far, and they where did I have them going?
They were a big disappointment in Texas, and now they're talking about
I had Iowa State.
They're talking about Wichita State's coach. They're talking about Texas maybe throwing a shitload of money at him. So because they'll need it, but yeah, it's Big 12, big disappointment.
Oh yeah, for my finals, I got Kentucky over Michigan State. What score did I write down? 82-76.
Holy cow!
That could be. You might. I don't know about that score, but that could probably
be the final.
Yeah, that could really be the final, and I would highly doubt a lot of people picked Michigan State.
Oh yeah, no, Big Ten. And I also had Dayton. I picked Dayton.
You picked Dayton in the first round?
No, I had them winning into the Sweet 16. I had them going into the Sweet 16 and then losing to Michigan State. But so they didn't go as far as I'd like them to. But they're the greatest spoilers ever, because this is going to be 2 or 3 years in a row where Dayton just messes everybody up. Yeah. And no one sees it coming, and I just love it. Little bullshit school from Ohio. Thank you, Dayton Flyers.
Xavier's also helping you out there too.
Yeah. Xavier's always got a good squad, but I think what's really helped out Michigan State was their seeding. And I think that's what's kind of screwed a lot of people over in their brackets too. Is Michigan State was a 7th seed, and I don't know how you could ever put a Tom Izzo team as a 7th seed.
Tom to the Izzo.
Regardless of who he's got on that team, he's gonna. He's good at least for a couple of wins in the tournament. So I was really surprised when the seeding came out that they put him that low. So
hey man, he paid a bunch of people to make that happen. It's come on, I need some underdog status over here so people don't take me seriously.
Well, this is the first year in a long time that I remember no 12 seed beating a 5.
Yeah, that too, and that was one thing that I really did. I had a lot of 12s beating 5s, and it just didn't come out.
I just gambled. I was like, I got to pick one, and I picked SF Austin, which didn't happen, of course.
Yeah, I had Maryland win a few games too. It's just it's a shame.
Maryland was a 4.
They're a 4. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at who I had who didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, man. I picked Wyoming over UNI, and I also had Wofford over Arkansas, and then that was it. That was the only 2 5 over 12s. But yeah, that was interesting. I guess those got substituted out for the 14s over the 3s. Where they Iowa State. Yeah, I still can't believe that crap,
man. What a bunch of jerks, right?
Yeah. Well, the bigger jerk was with the UCLA SMU game.
Oh yeah, that was something else, and it's
I had UCLA in that game.
See, I had UCLA.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah, I did too.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
See, I knew UCLA was bad, but I went to UCLA for a year, and so I kind of little homerism there. So, and also I kind of it was more or less an ironic pick. I was like, you know what? Everyone's talking all this mad shit about UCLA not deserving to be there, and rightfully so. I didn't think they deserved to get in the tournament, but I was thinking to myself, just watch UCLA go in there and just kind of play spoiler. And sure enough, they did, but it was downright criminal how they did it.
All right, now that was a straight up goaltending call. That was legit goaltending. It was not a bad call. I mean, it was a bad
call. That wasn't even.
That was goaltending. Did you watch the tape, dude? Did you watch the tape? The dude goaltending.
You mean the ref going goaltend? Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, when the guy reached up, the ball was coming down. I mean, yeah, it's gonna miss, but you can't touch the ball. You gotta let it hit the rim.
Yeah, I kind of agree with both you guys. This is how I see it. In real time, you call the goaltend.
Yes.
But they do with every other play, but except this play, is they go to the review. and they spend 20 minutes in the review, and then you watch like 30 commercials of beer commercials and Buffalo Wild Wings
Who
commercials.
doesn't love beer commercials?
But I'm just saying though, like that's what they do, and so, and then I'm just surprised that they'll look for a guy to see if his pinky toe crosses the 3-point line, or if a guy's the back of his ass is over the little circle underneath the hoop, to call for charge or something like that. But they won't review the goaltending. And I think if they would,
it was straight up. It was obvious. It was legit. They did not need to go to the replay because everyone saw it happen.
You like on the selection committee or something?
Yeah, I think he's trying out. He's trying to get on the selection committee for next year.
Yeah, he's auditioning.
Whatever, man. That was a legit call. I watched it. I watched the replay, man. You can watch it 800 times. It's still goaltending.
Yeah. It was rough. It was a rough way to go out, especially for like you gotta feel bad for Larry Brown a little bit because he's a basketball legend, and he's like, oh, he's making his triumphant return to college and SMU, and he's finally got a recruiting class, and they're gonna make a little noise, and then just literally swatted out of the air.
But it was his own guy who did it.
Max.
Oh man, that dude had to walk home.
Trying to get on the plane, just like, we're full.
The rest of the team was just standing at the door.
We're at capacity, sir.
They're like, no, Brian, it's not happening, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh man. Yeah, because that was my big upset that I had, and that just didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
At least we're not like European soccer fans, like nobody killed the guy or the ref afterwards. Like that's something at least, right?
Well, give it time.
Yeah, really.
If they were playing in Texas, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, for sure, if they were playing in Texas.
Yeah. So.
All right.
And then I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was a feel-good story though for Georgia State. To do what they did, they had to win their conference tournament to get into the big dance. And when they won the championship for their conference tournament, their head coach Ron Hunter tore his Achilles celebrating, and so he coached the entire game against Baylor on that on a little chair with wheels, and so he's like sliding back and forth like in front of the scores table. It was hilarious.
You should have got like a hover round or something.
Yeah. And then his son makes the game-winning shot, which I was watching that game live, and Baylor had them shut down for that last shot, and all they needed to make was a 2 to tie, and they just kept passing around the 3-point circle, and I'm like, throw the ball in the paint, go for a 2, like penetrate. There's 5 seconds left, and then the coach's son just jacks up this 3, and I'm like, oh, you idiot! I put my head down, and right when I put my head down here, I go, ah! And he made it. And then you see on the replay that the coach, his dad, he's got a torn Achilles, and he slips off his chair and falls right on his ass on the hardwood floor. Oh,
you really can't write that kind of comedy. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't make that up, man. You can't script that. It was a feel-good story, and then they lost to Xavier. So
they had to end at some point, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you're Georgia State, I mean, come on. So.
Yeah, they effed it up for me too. Like, goodness sake.
I'll get over it.
Goodness sake.
All
right.
Yeah.
So, all right, Philip. Now with the current standings, who do you feel is going? Who do you feel is staying? Do you still, or actually, who fills in your 4th spot? Since you still got 3 guys in.
So you're asking the Final Four, or what you asking there, sir?
Yeah, let's take. No, we're doing what?
What do you want to pick? Just like the Sweet 16 and all that stuff. You want to just go through that, or?
No, we'll just take it down to Final Four.
All right, we'll do Final Four. Yeah, okay.
That way, we won't be like trying to read off.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, Philip. So who do you got? Final Four. Who fills in your last spot, or do you still feel confident in your other 3 picks?
Oh, I'm confident in my other 3 picks. My 4th spot is not gonna. I mean, I can pretend that Virginia's going to magically come back in the tournament.
Well, no. I was saying, like, yeah, you got to fill in that spot, obviously. But I was just wondering if you were shaking your other picks.
Nah, I mean, with what I've seen from Kentucky, I think Kentucky's going to be. I think tonight's probably. Well, I would have said it would have been their biggest test until the kid from West Virginia decided to open up his mouth and make Kentucky wake up by calling them out. So we'll get to. I mean, you get to either watch that be a really close game and then turn into a beatdown, or just be a beatdown from the beginning.
I'm gonna say beatdown from the beginning. Kentucky is just. Well, I mean, it's a bunch of NBA players playing college basketball.
Yeah, and I think what makes Kentucky so special is that they got a lot of good sophomores too. The thing with Kentucky is they get all these guys that are one and done players, but they recruit so many good guys that they can't all play. So they either sit out or they're not going to play, and then next year you still got all these studs, and so it's like a revolving door almost over there. And so yeah, it's.
Hey guys, if you're not feeling like you get enough playtime in Kentucky, Ohio State, we're not that far away, and it's still a very good school.
Hop on 71.
Just
Come
take
on
it
over.
straight up. Like we'll open arms.
We'll
open
take
arms.
you. D'Angelo Russell ain't coming back, so we're going to need all the help we can get.
Yeah. Hey, man, there's spots open, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. 5 of them.
Nice. Build a team.
All right, so Phil, so who do you got? You got Kentucky. You got.
You got Arizona.
Yep, Kentucky, Arizona.
Kentucky, Arizona, and then you got Duke.
Yep, and then I'm gonna go Michigan State.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, shut up.
That's actually that's a tough call for me because I actually think Louisville could
Who'd you pick?
I'm going Michigan State. I think Louisville could beat them, but I think Michigan State actually has more talent offensively.
I hear you. Yeah, well, I still like Wisconsin coming out of the West. The Midwest, I still got Notre Dame. I think I'm going to stick with the Irish just for the sake of them,
Because if they win,
then I'm going to give both you guys a big middle finger. And I'm going to just be doing the happy dance.
Hey man, you got to take.
So
that.
I'm gonna stick with the Irish there.
The luck of the Irish.
I know my buddy Mikey. He's a big Notre Dame fan. He'd be happy. I'm gonna change my Gonzaga pick. I'm gonna go with Duke. Just after seeing Duke, I haven't watched too much college basketball this year, but just after watching Duke, and they keep getting beat, by Notre Dame had their number this year, and a couple teams had their number, but just who's left in that South region, I don't see anybody else beating Duke. As good as Gonzaga is, as talented as they are, they're still Gonzaga. Everyone thinks they got a sexy name, and they might have some talent, but I just don't see Gonzaga going to the Final Four anymore.
Do you remember when Gonzaga, nobody had heard of them? It was maybe like a decade.
Oh yeah.
Nobody had ever heard the name Gonzaga, and they come and they ruined everybody's break. Did they win that the first time, or no? They made it.
Well, no, they never won it, but they made noise.
Yeah, and oh man, ever since then they've been like a Sweet 16 team. But
they started
I remember when nobody had ever heard of Gonzaga before.
Yeah, they started getting an upset here, upset there every couple of years, upset here, upset there, and then they started going far, and then now they are who they are. But I mean, I think they'll still go to the Elite Eight, but I just I don't see them getting past the Dukies. And then in the East, for me, which is just completely destroyed, because in the Elite Eight I had Providence against Villanova, which was really stupid on my part. I'm gonna have to go with you guys and go with Michigan State. We've been talking about it. Tom Izzo, the guy's a genius. But I agree with you, Phil. It's kind of more or less a toss-up between them and Louisville. The talent may differ year to year of both those schools, but they both got great coaches. And so, but I like Tom Izzo though. I'm gonna give Izzo the edge over Pitino. So so my new Final Four is going to be Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Duke, and Michigan State.
I'm I'm actually going to keep most of my teams. Like I like the 3 that I got going right now are still pretty. I mean, I got Kentucky, Michigan State, and Duke in it. Those are my actual picks. Since Ohio State tragically lost, I'm gonna have to take.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
The 10 seed.
Go right out of left field into the basketball court, but I'll take Wisconsin. I got my Big Ten love. Wisconsin's looking pretty good. I feel like they can still win these games. Win some games. They're gonna lose to Kentucky in the Final Four, but I'll pick up Wisconsin and from the West. And then how's Ohio State in the West?
I have no idea. It was really stupid how they picked these brackets. I mean, like
anyway. Yeah, I'll take Wisconsin, Kentucky, Michigan State, Duke. Got to be Kentucky, Michigan State in the finals.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even pick a thing in the finals, but I'll take Wisconsin. I got Wisconsin taking Duke, and I'll still stick with Wisconsin. Yeah, Big Ten love. So so we'll see how those picks turn out, and we'll keep you updated next week about everything, and hopefully I'll be giving the double bird to both these clowns when Kentucky.
I'll be sending you a text tonight when they lose to Wichita State. So
if Kentucky. If Kentucky loses any game, I'm just going to. I mean, like obviously my bracket's shot, but that would just be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen because those guys are seriously really, really good.
I know. But...
Oh, they're playing as a team too. That's the difference. They're not playing as a team of all-stars. They're actually playing together as a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is actually kind of surprising. I mean, everyone talks about how great Calipari is, but I've never thought of him as like one of these great basketball minds, kind of like how Izzo and Boeheim and Pitino and Krzyzewski, Coach K is. I can't even pronounce that guy's name, but like. You think of those guys as like the masterminds, the strategic kind of guys. No matter who they get, they're gonna go far. But like Calipari to me has always seemed like he would only go as far as his recruiting class goes. But the fact that you pointed it out, Phil, that they're playing as a team, and it's one thing if you get a bunch of stars on a team. It's another thing when they start playing together and gelling. So I mean, I'm probably gonna be wrong. You guys will be right, but there's always that.
I mean, anything can still happen. Like that's what I love about this thing is that I mean, I don't really know a lot. I don't follow college basketball too closely, but you can look at the rankings and it's like, all right, I'm picking these 4 guys and mess everything up for everybody, and you might be right. Like anything can happen. So again, you're not out yet. You're not out yet.
So what I'm hoping is that I get effed up in this way. Wichita State wins, beats Notre Dame tonight, and then wins against Kentucky.
That would be something right there.
Oh yeah, Wichita State. Who saw that coming?
The coach of Wichita State. If that would happen, he would be the governor of Kansas.
Yeah, they would probably build like a golden statue to him on the campus. Like,
yeah. It wouldn't even be made out of gold. It'd be made like out of wheat,
and corn,
and dirt.
But it would be epic.
Yeah, it would be the first one of its kind.
Not likely to happen, but that would be interesting.
Yeah. Just to shit in everybody's cereal. So.
Yes.
All right, well.
Is that all the basketball news we got?
I think, as far as brackets go, I think that's what we got so far, but
yeah, definitely watch those games tonight.
Yeah, we definitely will be watching. Hope you guys will be watching too, and feel free to, throw us a line, talk some smack, do whatever.
Oh crap! I didn't even open up this.
We'll be more than happy to give it back to you. So.
All right. Do we have any? Oh, we actually have a viewer.
We have a viewer.
I can't tell who the viewer is, but thank you so much.
You guys are awesome. You're awesome, whoever you are.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and give the weekly Buckeye news. Braxton Miller getting into a little bit of maybe trouble. Maybe not. We're all consulting the lawyers and the whatnot at the NCAA.
Yeah, we're checking the rule books.
Because I mean, he technically hasn't made any money off of his likeness, so
that we know of.
Right.
That we know of.
So we could be okay, but I mean, like he did put up an Instagram picture of him with some products.
With the salesman too.
Yeah, so he could be in some trouble. But the good news is that we drafted is that the
No.
we picked up two quarterbacks. We recruited two quarterbacks, redshirt, and we also have 12 gauge and JT Barrett, the 50 cal, 12 gauge, 50 cal. Oh yeah. But so no, we're good. We're good on the quarterback scene. But Braxton, not very smart, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What I think. Well, what the good thing that comes out of this is that it's an individual violation. If it is a violation, I'm pretty sure it's a violation. But
yeah, it's gonna be.
The school is no way involved, which means it's not going to hurt eligibility for postseason ban or any of that shit.
Because national champions, baby.
Yeah, I mean Braxton Miller, his arm is still hurt anyways. He can barely throw still. So if anything,
yeah, I don't know if anyone caught today's newspaper, but the Ohio State football Buckeyes.
They're still
national champions.
And we won the national wrestling championship.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Logan Stieber, 4-time national champion. He's competing for the Olympics now.
You're more likely to get struck by lightning 4 times, win the lottery, and then win the Super Bowl than to be a 4-time national champion in wrestling.
There's more people that have been to the moon than there have been 4-time national champions.
Bam.
Anyways,
suck it, astronauts.
But I could easily see Braxton Miller. Braxton Miller kept saying he's not going to transfer, but I could see him maybe possibly going into the supplemental draft and kind of just biting, just kind of like biting his lip and just doing it instead of trying to prove himself that he can be an NFL quarterback. Kind of go the Denard Robinson route where he just kind of just goes in the supplemental draft and he becomes a running back or an H-back or some shit. I don't know.
Is he halfback or receiver?
Receiver, yeah, we'll see.
I mean, he's got the legs.
Yeah, I just don't know if he can take the hits.
That's true.
So that's the thing. True. But yeah, that's Buckeye. That's Buckeye update there.
Shane,
back of the finger.
And good luck, though. Seriously, I hope it all works out. Like Braxton, love you to death. But you really should have known better. Right.
Especially being there, during when Terrell Pryor got in trouble and shit. You should know better.
Come on, man.
But yeah, so that's Buckeye news. But Phil, you got anything for us?
Local news, I guess we can go into that. Randy Whitman, the Wizards head coach, decided at the end of a game, even though his team was down with the potential to tie at the end of the game, he decides to walk off the court as his team is driving down the court to take a shot, and didn't care. And they missed it, but it would have been interesting if they had made it and seen what he would have done, because...
Or like how far he would have kept going.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been hilarious. And then at which point I think that they might have just called down there, you're fired. You're done.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I think they're just waiting to fire him. There's so much talent there that they just don't use. I mean, injuries are a problem, but that's not the only problem. They got I think they had the number 3 pack, Otter? Crap, I can't remember his name. But anyways.
Porter?
Pardon?
Otto Porter.
Yes, Otto Porter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and they haven't used him yet, and he hasn't done much of anything. So to me, that's more of a head coach issue. But another question I have for you all is Kevin Love and LeBron James, is that true drama or is that media drama?
Media.
It's total media. I think it's just a complete fabrication. I don't believe for a second that they're best buddies. For 1 second, they're professionals. It's a business. They work together. So not everybody's best buddies on the team. That just happens. All that matters is if you can flow together on the court, which I think they do. But Kevin Love's kind of, I don't want to say he struggled to find his place on the team. It's just more or less he's the third scoring option now, whereas when he was in Minnesota, he was the number 1 scoring option. He was the only scoring option. And he's kind of taken a role similar to what Chris Bosh did. Everyone will say, well, where's Chris Bosh? Where's Chris Bosh? But, come playoff time, they'll play a team where, LeBron gets matched up, Kyrie gets matched up, but then there's that third option, whether, Kevin Love / Chris Bosh, he just goes off, and I think that's what they brought him in for. And I think he understands that, but I think it's just the Cavs are just playing out of their minds right now. They destroyed the Warriors not too long ago, and they completely obliterated the Grizzlies last night.
Are they on like
With Love leading the way.
Yeah, with Leia. Yeah, Love had a double-double, and he usually does get a double-double. It's just like usually like 15 points and like 10 boards as opposed to like 30 points and 20 boards or whatever.
I mean,
It's still good. But I mean, I think they're 27-7 since like January or something like that. They're playing ridiculously good, and I think the media is just more or less trying to find whatever they can to kind of like knock them down a peg or two, more or less. And I just think it's a bunch of crap, and media's just searching for stuff, and and the whole talk with. They asked they asked Kevin Love, who do you think is going to be?
Russell Wilson?
No, I was going to say Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Kevin Love picked Russell Westbrook for his MVP, and they're both UCLA guys. They're both Cali guys, and I mean, it's kind of hard not to pick Russell Westbrook for the MVP.
They played together.
Yeah, they played together, and not to mention Russell Westbrook had like that streak of triple doubles, and so it's like
It's also pretty fucking sweet.
yeah, and and he's doing it all with Durantula, out.
I love that nickname.
I know, right? So cool. So I think, it's all fabricated. Media's searching for something, trying to get Cleveland to,
They're trying to break up the fucking juice, man. They're trying to disrupt the mojo.
Yeah, which I don't see it happening. And LeBron went through this his first time around in Cleveland, when they were winning 60 games every year, and, they kept trying to find weak spots to talk about, which they did have weak spots, but, and then when they first, with the Heat, and they weren't winning immediately when they formed that super team, and the media was calling them out, saying that you fire the coach. Ironically, they did it this year with the Cavs.
2 rings later.
Yeah, 2 rings later. So I think it's just all fabrication. So, but I know I went on a rant there. You got anything?
I really can't add anything to that. Like, it's really just they need something to talk about. But I'm like with the NCAA tournament going on right now, like, you guys really just pick this up. Like, there's nothing else you can be talking about.
Yeah.
You make up this BS like, LeBron. Like, whatever. So that's whatever. We're gonna, I didn't even. It's not even a factor for me. We'll just see. I hope the Cavs keep doing well. I really like LeBron. I really like watching LeBron play. So I always wish him well. Yeah, and that's that. I mean, he's a definite professional. I've never seen him have an attitude or have be in a position where it's like he's a diva and this sort of and he's sort of like
well, he's seen it all now, and it's like he brushes off his shoulder, and it's like I'm sure he'll take Caleb take Kevin Love aside, and and he'll. I'm sure they'll hash it out. I mean, it's not like they're going to be best buddies overnight now, but I mean, like, it'll be like, look, man, like, we're cool. Like, let's just play basketball, let's win games, and don't worry about all this crap.
Get some ranks.
But yeah, to kind of not to backtrack or anything, but to go back to the Washington Wizards thing though, with you, Phil.
Oh yeah.
It baffles me just kind of like that the coach would do that, and and they're not, and Otto Porter's not getting more playing time. And, I mean, they really have a really good team. I mean, the Wizards are the only team that really scares me, I mean, in the East. Even with Derrick Rose being on the Bulls, I still think,
Derrick Rose isn't on the Bulls, dude.
Well, he might be coming back before the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then he's going to be like, oh, well, I don't want to play.
Yeah, then he'll catch
I'm not 100%. I'm not going to play right now.
Yeah, he'll catch a cold and retire, but yeah, I mean, you got John Wall, Bradley Beal, Dragic. Gortat. I'm sorry, Dragic. You got Gortat, and then I mean, you got Otto Porter, and they haven't utilized Otto Porter, and I mean, they're a force to be reckoned with, and they really gave the Cavs a hard time earlier in the season, and if they get the right coach. It'll be Cavs and Wizards for the next few years. I totally see that. So it's kind of disappointing to see the Wizards kind of, I don't want to say fall from grace or anything like that, but to just to kind of see those kind of antics. I mean, usually you see that kind of stuff with a really bad team, and
not from the coach though. Like that is unacceptable. That is 100% unacceptable.
Yeah.
If it were up to me, fired.
Yeah,
Like, no way that is acceptable.
Yeah.
You're the coach. Like, maybe from a player. I can see a player doing that, catch some fines, catch some bench time, and then, move on from there. But the coach?
Yeah.
That's no. Yeah. Not at all. Not ever.
Yeah, they were joking locally that he needs to suspend himself for 3 games.
Yeah. Phil Jackson would never play that crap.
Yeah.
No, most head coaches, even like crappy head coaches, wouldn't do that. They like their paycheck too much.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I guess that guy's just making too much money. Apparently he's not worried about his job or what people think or anything. So he's too comfortable, and somebody needs to go and make that dude uncomfortable. That's absurd.
You could be like, it's all about ego when it comes down to it. When it comes to professionalism.
Yeah, that's. But back to Derrick Rose real quick. Derrick Rose, if you and me have the same scores and the same record, one more season, you need to retire, bro. You need to get out of the game because. There's been was it just 1 season or 2 seasons where me and Derrick Rose have had the same NBA record?
I think it's 1. 1.5.
Yeah, definitely 1 season.
I'm just still trying to picture in my head you playing basketball.
Exactly my point. I mean, try and picture in your head Derrick Rose playing basketball. You can't.
I mean, you're taller than me, so I mean, obviously, I think you're gonna be in the paint, but you're only what,
I'm 6'2".
Okay,
6'2".
so yeah,
he's not in the paint.
Players of all time.
Yeah,
he would get smushed in the paint.
Dude, Michael Jordan. I always thought that he was kind of like a regular guy.
No.
So much shorter than most of the. I should say shorter than, but
yeah.
He looks like kind of small compared to this dude's 6'6".
Yeah,
and
he's a tree. He's a fucking tree.
So, but Derrick Rose, I am 100, I love hating on Derrick Rose because every year everyone's like, oh, Derrick Rose is back, oh, I love him. And then he gets hurt and then he doesn't play. And, oh, he might be back to the playoffs, and then he doesn't. And then he decides that he's going to sit out the playoffs because...
He's got to keep drinking that Powerade. He's got that new commercial out.
Oh, my God. Dude, okay, Derrick Rose, you are not allowed to put any commercials out until you win something.
Yeah. Or at least until you play. Until you play.
Yes.
No, you gotta win it now. We're past the let's just get him in there point. You gotta win something. That's it.
The rest of the team's getting old and injured, so I don't think they're going to be winning anything, even if he comes.
Derrick Rose is already old and injured.
Yeah, but
young and injured.
Yeah, it's going to be Cleveland and Washington here for the next few years. I think battling needs. But so I think that's what we got for basketball. Phil, you got anything for the NFL? I think there was the coaches' meetings and the owners' meetings, right? They were talking about the rules.
Yeah. So they're talking about I think this is the owners' meetings, and they're actually talking about the extra points, and they're trying to decide what they want to do, whether or not they want to just completely remove them from the game. Whether or not they want to just move them back and just say extra points will always be on the 15-yard line, or if they're going to move up the 2-point conversions to the 1.5, because I think it's 2 now. It's the 2-yard.
I think it's a 2 to 3-yard line. I want.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's a little bit closer. I think to entice people or give people the option of you can kick an extra point from 15 yards, which I actually think it should be further, but we can go into that a little bit, or 1.5 for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Weren't they testing this last preseason, pushing it back to the 25?
It was a 38-yard field goal. I can't remember what that is. Is that 20 or 21?
I think it was maybe 20 or 25 or between 20 and 30, I want to say. But, I totally agree that they should. If you're going to kick a field goal for the extra point, you need to move it back. I mean, it's a gimme. It's a gimme every time. The only time it's not a gimme is if there's a bad snap, which, I mean, these guys, all they do all day, these long snappers, they are paid to put it on the money for long snapping. And so that's not going to happen. That's once in a blue moon. I think that they need to move the they should move the extra point back at least to the 20, 25 even. But I mean, the 2-point conversion, I do like the idea of moving it up, maybe the 1.5 or 1 yard line to entice people to go for it. And I think it'd be a nice little trap. I think you could definitely see like an intense playoff game like ending like that. I think that'd be really sweet.
Yep.
Almost kind of like be like this past Super Bowl almost kind of that kind of drama. So I'm all for that. I'm all for moving that. I don't think you should get rid of the extra point.
I agree.
I think it just adds more. It just adds more drama. And I think to do that, you gotta get rid of this 1 yard field goal BS. I think it's bad.
Yeah. I think they should do both. They should push the field goal back some. They should move the 2-point conversion up some, and that way, you're really thinking about what you want to do every time, and it's not like, okay, we'll just kick it and we get the extra point, no problem. But I think that would add a great aspect to the game, because even when they were testing it, it was like 30% more misses on the extra point when they moved it back, to the 21-25, where they exactly moved it back. But that's awesome. I'm like, all right, well now we got some games going. Like, you hit the extra point, the other guy might miss. He might actually miss it.
Yeah.
So like that's a real thing, and I like that. I like the idea. Tweak the game just a little bit. Let's get some numbers up. Let's get some some stuff moving. Yeah. And I'm down for that. So I really hope they kind of do everything they're talking about. Like, move it back, move it forward, get everything on board, and do it.
And I think it'll make it such more of a situational type of thing. Depending on where the wind is blowing, or if your kicker's been a little shaky this game. You're outside in Lambeau and it's windy as hell, or if you're in a dome, it's a lot easier to just say, oh yeah, we'll kick it. So I think it puts a lot more pressure on the coaches to kind of do their job. It's just not this gimme extra point anymore. Right. And it makes special teams more relevant, and I think that's what they need to do. They keep talking about getting rid of the kickoffs, which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
They keep putting all this emphasis. You hear all these great coaches talk about, the punt's the most important play, or special teams is so important, and it's like, okay, well then why is everyone trying to get rid of special teams then? And that's a lot. A lot of people make their money off being a special teams specialty, whether you're a gunner, a long snapper, punter, kicker, whatever. And
that's also where a lot of guys get their start, running them back. So, it's it's a proving ground for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's how you make the team.
Yeah.
Whether you can play special teams. So I think it's more of an emphasis on special teams. So I think the more emphasis you can put on special teams and making that more of a third of the game, instead of just being offense and defense, making it, cutting the game into thirds. I think, all for it.
Yeah, when I'm playing Madden, I don't believe in kicking at all. Like, that's not an option for me. But so I mean, it'd be good if they actually made the game to where you like kicking is actually an option, because as it stands right now, you can play Madden and not kick the ball. Trust me, it's happened.
I like comparing professional football to Madden directly.
Dude, I'd be the worst coach of all time because I don't believe in it.
Well, you'd be the most exciting coach of all time.
That's true.
Right? You have to have a good team.
4th and 27, we're going.
And the most fired coach of all time.
Oh, yeah, I'd be a coach for all 7.
That's why I said he has to have a good team.
Yeah.
I'd be a good team. If he made bad decisions, the team would make up for it.
Yeah.
The only coach in NFL history to get fired on the field.
Is he a good coach, or is his team just that good?
Yeah. But, so I'm all for them moving it back. Like, I actually looked at numbers, and they're still being too safe. I actually looked at it. You want it to go beyond 39 yards. Because
Hey, Joe, what's up?
Ravens got it. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that here in a second.
Sorry for interrupting.
Finish.
So, beyond 39 yards, because when I looked at the stats, over half the NFL kickers are 100% in 30 to 39 yards.
Yeah.
So at which point, to me, I'm like, all right, you need to make it difficult to the point where it's, 20 to 25%, where you're getting premium kickers, right, where you're actually going out and you're paying for that skill to make that extra point. Mm-hmm. Or you're just, all right, we're all in on extra points. Who needs this kicker? We'll just use the punter to do kickoffs. And to me, that would be an interesting dynamic, because then you'd start to see different teams change, and I think it would be exciting. Moving the extra point, or moving the 2-point conversion up would be cool. And then the other thing I forgot to mention that they're talking about, which is also exciting, as part of this, is giving the defense the ability to score points off of these special teams extra point attempts, whether it's 2-point or single. They haven't discussed any number of points. We don't know if it'll be like college, but they at least would offer a dynamic of, if you're going for, say, a 42-yard extra point and your kicker goes short and they got a gunner back there or a guy in the back that catches it and can run it, like Ed Reed did a few times.
Yeah.
You've just now made that play even more exciting. So I'm all down for that. So what was Joe's question?
All right, Joe said.
Well, I think it wasn't a question. It was more. It was a comment.
Yeah. The Ravens got the ineligible receiver rule passed. The new rules say that an eligible receiver who reports as ineligible must line up within the tackle box. So we get to look forward to new and exciting things New England can throw at us. That's what Joe says.
Yeah, can't wait to see how New England can dissect this rule and find some way to find a loophole.
All right.
But yeah, if you're not familiar with this, New England they brought in an extra running back. What?
Not familiar with this guy.
Was it an extra lineman or was it an offensive lineman?
Yeah, I think it was. Was it an offensive lineman or was it a running back? Okay, or
I know it had to be a lineman.
It was a lineman because didn't they throw it to the lineman?
Yeah, it was a lineman.
Yeah, they threw it to a lineman, and then they had the running back that would that lined up weird, and they just had these weird formations.
Right.
And and they had that ineligible tackle, and then they ended up throwing to that guy, and he ended up catching a pass, and it was in the playoff game.
Mm.
And so it was Belichick, with his bag of tricks. Whether it's deflated balls or it's thrown to a lineman, that guy's going to find a way to
Bill Belichick
to find a way around the rules. God, I wish we still had him in Cleveland.
They're gonna on his gravestone. They're gonna put, "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying."
With a big middle finger.
Yep.
Would be accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is I think it's going to be. I'm glad that they did this. More or less, just kind of keep the Patriots in line. And
Yeah, so I looked it up. It actually varied. It was multiple different personnels lining up on the line. But what would happen is they would come up as ineligible, but then change it and make them eligible, and then they would rotate out.
That's what it was, yeah.
So that's how they were going around the rule, and that's why they said if you line up in the tackle box, you can't switch.
Yeah, because I think it was like I think they reported like a running back as ineligible, and then shifted, and then he was eligible, and it was just a big clusterfuck, and I think it's just, that's just him finding ways around it, and I think it's good that the NFL is, finding a way to kind of check that, and I think also it's kind of them trying to cover their own ass, because if Belichick finds a loophole, he's going to exploit it, and and everyone's going to be like pointing to the rule, but Belichick's going to point out this.
I read it.
Yeah, well, technically, he wasn't eligible, but then we shifted, and now he was eligible, and it's like.
Oh, what do they call that? Oh my God.
The old switcheroo.
No, it's illegal, like a legal term when
illegal shift.
Legal as in like law, like lawyers talk about when they the intent of the law, like it's like it's not exactly how it's written, but the intent of the law,
or the intent of the law.
Bill Belichick's butter right there.
Yeah, if we have any lawyers out there, feel free to chime in.
But so it'll be good. We'll see how it goes, but Bill Belichick's gonna cheat, so it doesn't matter like what you even do. It doesn't matter what you change the rules to because he's gonna cheat.
Yeah, he'll exploit the new extra point rules somehow too. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the one thing that did surprise me about that, you remind me of another story I heard about, which was Bill Belichick basically cussed out the owners because the NFL refused to spend the money because it was too expensive to add goal line cameras at every NFL stadium.
Oh.
Which is interesting from that perspective, which...
How many NFL teams are there? 32?
Yes.
Oh, you want to know how much it was? $44 million.
Really?
It was that much?
Yeah, $44 million. But you know how much the NFL made last year?
Well, I understand, but I'm just surprised that it's that much. Like for 32 cameras.
Well, it's going to be camera. You're paying for equipment, you're paying for labor. So I'm sure that all accounts to it.
More than one camera. It's actually 3 cameras.
I'm telling you right now, you can get 32 GoPros for like 20, so like not even $20,000. Like, give me
Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe you buy them like in bulk. Like, they'll give you a price.
Yeah, dude, they'll give you a deal on that for real.
But yeah, I mean, $44 million seems like a lot, but I mean, in NFL terms, that's not a lot. And I kind of agree with Bill on that. You know, it's only going to help the game. It's only going to help, you know, getting the call right. You know, and and I'm all about getting the call right.
And that's much cheaper.
No controversy.
That's much cheaper than my idea of putting like a GPS sensor in the ball and then having, you know, like a sensor across the goal line so you know exactly how far, or not even across the goal line, on every yard line, so you know exactly how far the ball went every time. That would be expensive, and I can understand not doing that.
Should have that idea and like
But, yeah, I mean,
the NFL.
that would be awesome, right? Like, because then you know how far the ball went forward every time.
Well, so if nothing else, just simplifying it and painting the ball with some sort of thing that could actually like light up the goal, the goal line whenever it got crossed.
Yeah.
That would even be like at least a middle ground to your solution. That way you would know instantly. Oh, the ball crossed the plane, touchdown or touchback, whatever.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like in hockey when you know, when that puck crosses and that you know, the light goes up and all that shit. So.
But yeah, so Bill Belichick, we're actually with you on this one.
Exactly. That's why I was surprised. I had to mention that. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah, because the biggest thing I noticed was the extra points that I don't think they're moving it back far enough. But if they at least do the 2-point conversions closer, maybe that'll make it more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, anything will be a step in the right direction. So as long as they're moving in the right direction, you know, maybe they don't get it right this year, but in a couple of years, you know, they find it, you know. So as long as they're making improvements on it, so.
Absolutely. Anything else, you guys?
That's all I got.
I think that's all I got too. My beer's out, so I'm out too. So.
All right, well, I guess that's it for Philip and Mike. I'm Max Andrews. Thank you for watching Sports Nerds, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Oh, wait a minute. Do we have any plugs? Do you have any plugs? Do we have any? Plug 3 Geeks. Hey, check out 3 Geeks Network, 3geeks.ninja. You can catch all of our catalog of podcasts, and you can definitely catch the first 3 episodes of Sports Nerds because everyone knows that's worth watching.
Oh, yes.
And what else we got? Is that it? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, so 3geeks.ninja. Number 3, geeks.ninja. Check it out, and have a good night.